Doom Eternal introduced us to a new type of enemy, the Maykrs. They initially appear angelic, divine, and holy, but as the game progresses, we realize their true origins stem from the Dark Lord's own creations, making them not too dissimilar from the demons themselves. This was something hinted at by Mick Gordon in the original soundtrack for Doom Eternal, making the Urdak theme a slowed down version of a combat theme. The Maykrs were a huge selling point for me with Doom Eternal, and I was really interested to see how id Software would tackle a new foe in the Doom series. Jump forward to present day, and I think they're still trying to figure that out. Now, excluding Doom the Dark Ages, because I haven't played it yet, we've only seen Maykr drones, the Blood Maykr, Maykr angels, the Khan Maykr, and finally, some more Maykr. Two of which are bosses, and the Maykr angels are never fought in game. Now, to say the very least, it was pretty disappointing to only come across a very small handful of Maykrs in-game. So I did what I do best and came up with some ideas for new ones. The name's FooSarr, and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll be going over my concepts for 3 new Maykrs and how I would slot them into Doom Eternal or any future Doom game. After all, a concept can be adaptive, so I implore you to use your imagination. With that said and done, here is my concept for new Maykrs. Kicking things off, we've got the Maykr Venator. This Maykr is a pursuit unit that is humanoid in shape. These Maykrs were the result of human experimentation in Urdak, and their bodies can be found laying dormant below the Khan Maykrs arena. Now, if you don't know, Venator in Latin means hunter, which is exactly what this Maykr will be doing. The Venator's primary goal is to swarm the Slayer and add a unique layer of pressure to the arena. They're able to mimic every movement option the Slayer has access to, which means if you can do it, so can they. They will follow your movements and try to catch up to you, as they can only attack you within a melee range. Although their damage output is quite low, their main goal is to create additional tension during fights, not to harm you. The Venator will force players to never stop moving and always move unpredictably. To defeat these Maykrs, you must be within melee range, and once you're close enough, their skulls will open up, revealing their life essence. This is your opportunity to perform any powerful attack to defeat it. Much like a Maykr drone, it will die in just one hit. While the Venator's head is exposed, they will be able to fire out projectiles in small bursts towards the Slayer. Getting hit will slow your movement speed down just for a little while, much like the Blood Maykr. Now, in isolation, this is harmless, but if you were in a tense situation with, say, an Eternal Demon, which I featured in the previous video, it could be a matter of life and death. Ultimately, the Venator's major strength is being a pressure support unit, designed to hunt you down and overwhelm you in the heat of battle. It would only take 1 or 2 Venators to throw your game off. Moving on, we've got the Maykr Assassin. This Maykr is a light pressure unit that will stalk you before attacking. These Maykrs were designed to eliminate important targets to alter the playing field in their favor. Much the same as yourself, the Maykr Assassin will utilize arena obstacles such as explosive barrels if it sees an opportunity for collateral damage. Their main goal is to catch you off guard and take advantage of you hang on. What? Why did I write that? Their main goal is to catch you off guard and take advantage of a situation that will end up with you taking damage. As a result, they are the weakest of the Maykrs that I'll feature in this video. The Maykr Assassin may have stealth and teleportation on their side, but they fall short on defense. Unlike other Maykrs, which are nearly impervious to damage except for one critical weak point, the Assassin's entire mesh is a weak point. To their favor, they have incredible speed, and as I mentioned before, they will regularly teleport away from threats or to close the distance between targets. Don't underestimate the Assassin. Getting hit within melee range will stun the Slayer with the same slowness effect as the Blood Maykr, but this will last twice as long. During this time, the Maykr Assassin will switch from being evasive to offensive, and any damage it deals to you will be amplified by 2 times. In this offensive state, the Assassin will stop teleporting around and attempt to strike you with an onslaught of melee hits. Back-to-back-to-back rapid attacks. This is a double-edged sword for the Assassin. While it does mean the Assassin is much easier to defeat in this way, you then also do take double damage, so take advantage of the moment, I guess. At the end of the day, the Maykr Assassin isn't a major threat. Any hit anywhere on its body will destroy it. So just aim precisely, or if you're less skilled, allow it to hit you first so that it mindlessly wanders towards you and stops teleporting. Alternatively, if that's all still too difficult for you, chuck an ice grenade and it will shut this Maykr down completely. Finally, we have the Maykr Arcanum. On my website, I'll share the previous concept I have for this Maykr because it's vastly different from what I decided on moving forwards with. There'll be a link in the pinned comment, or if you're watching on Odyssey, please check the description below. Also, thank you for watching on Odyssey. Legend. This Maykr is a heavy class enemy that will require some effort to take down. Without straying too far from the core philosophies that ground Maykr design, you will need to land not one, but two precise hits to defeat this foe. Within the chest of this Maykr lays a biomechanical heart. This keeps the Maykr alive, but to deal damage to it you must disable their shields by landing a precise shot on their hand, which is holding a stack of cards. This will briefly stun the Maykr, opening it for the final second hit. While you plan your route of attack, the Maykr Arcanum, true to its name, will be using Maykr magic to defeat you, and also a big ass gun on its hand. So let's start with the gun, because that's a lot easier to explain than magic. That thing will fire off either charge bursts or rapid fire blasts, both of which will stun the Slayer, much like the Blood Maykr. Getting hit by the charge burst will stun the Slayer for a slightly longer duration. On the Maykr Arcanum's other hand is a stack of magic cards. This card will be used to shield itself from incoming projectile-based weapons by enlarging, or it can be used as a weapon. The Arcanum will imbue the card with one of four elements, being either fire, ice, electricity, or poison. Fire will cause tick damage, ice will freeze your ability to dash for a few seconds, electricity will stop all of your weapon mods from working, and poison will create a small puddle of purple goo that you won't be able to jump out of, and also causes a little bit of tick damage too. So it's like a fire and ice sort of mixed together. I don't know. You don't want to be hit with the poison one. That one sucks. The Arcanum will attack by flinging out a card to your location and then activating it. You're able to actually stop this attack if you blood punch the card right before it activates. However, the opportunity window for this is very slim. The Arcanum will mostly be a stationary enemy, only ever teleporting around when you approach melee distance, so don't get too close. This forces the Maykr to play at a ranged position, unique to other enemies which love to be all up in your face. So just land those two precise shots, and the Maykr Arcanum is no more. And that about does it, but if you're wanting more, on my website I have a whole section dedicated to ideas that never made it to the big screen. Amongst them is the Maykr Beast, a mini boss which I originally wanted to include in this video but felt it was, well, overreaching a little bit. If you've got time, go read up on it on the FooVerse website. Thank you for watching. If you made it all the way through, then you've got my respect. Viewer retention is the hardest thing to keep in the advent of short form videos, so really, thank you for having the patience to get through all of this, and I hope you got something out of it too. I wanted to keep these concepts as close to the current design of Maykrs as possible, because I feel that's what makes them unique and differentiates them from demons in gameplay. I had originally planned to have the Maykrs display their strength through how many hits it takes to defeat. As in, the drones can be defeated in one hit, the Arcanum is defeated in 2 hits, and the Maykr Beast would be multiple hits. But I decided against this. Maykrs, in my mind, are a species that exist off the Father's intervention of the Dark Lord's creation. The Father doesn't really know or understand how they work, so we can't do much to make them stronger, which is why they work behind the scenes, manipulating races and deciding fates, whilst appearing impervious. It's a good juxtaposition to have in a game like Doom Eternal. It shows that there's more thoughts behind these enemies than what we're led to believe. Just wanted to take a moment to share a post that a viewer of the channel made on a recent community post. Speaking of which, if you've got any ideas like Crimjim had, feel more than happy to post them to my YouTube community page. There'll be a link below and anyone can make a post. Anyway, Crimjim left a comment of an idea they had for how spirits in Doom Eternal could have been more interesting. This really resonated with me, and I felt it was such a brilliant use of these humanoid figures that are just eerily stationed here underneath the Khan Maker's arena. Now, I don't usually do this sort of thing for my concept videos, but I thought that this was just such a brilliant idea that I had to share it with you guys, so show them some love in the comments. And thank you, Crimjim, for the brilliant idea. I love seeing my community come up with these creative ideas. There's been so many that there's too many to feature in every video, but if you guys make some really cool community posts, I might make it a thing, so at the end of every video I'll feature a FooFan idea. I don't know, I just think it could be cool. Anyway, thank you, Crimjim. Also, whilst getting footage for this, I found a leftover during development. Nice. The name's FooSarr, and next time we're going to continue talking about Maykrs, but one Maykr in particular who didn't get enough justice in Doom Eternal. In fact, they're my favorite character in the Doom series, so I think it's about time they get some justice. Make sure you're subscribed because I don't want you to miss that. I reckon it's going to be my biggest video yet. Remember to stay creative, be unique, and strive for originality.